Chiefy J says, seen successfully switched to live.
Bogward, what are you doing? Are you off? I got work. I can't stream later. I'm trying to be a responsible adult. Fortunately.
Bogzilla says, I'm heading to my cabin car.
Your cabin? So that means you left work early, or you just didn't go to work today, right? You're off.
Bogzilla says, no work for me, the benefit of owning my business.
No work for you? I wonder if it's like new or like not really new, but you know what I mean, like small entrepreneurs who has a very low capital. It's better to like start like a seasonal business. I wonder if you should do that. But the ATM business seems okay. It doesn't seem too difficult. Okay. That lady cuffed me. I'm going in here. Just get in the freezer.
John Brees says, Macus.
No.
Yeah boy.
I'll just take a wild strawberry freezer. Wild strawberry freezer. That's it. Large. That's it. Thank you. Something brush. Macos? No work for me. The benefit of owning my business. But then you go to meetings. So you were going to meetings for your business every day.
John Brees says, sup bruh.
How you doing, John Bruce? And they freeze.
Good man, good.
Huh? Good man, good. Good. It's good to hear.
Bogzilla says, I have meetings but most of them are for new business or investment opportunities.
Hold on, let me read that. When it works. Oh my god, it's a massive hole. Oh Jesus. Massive hole at the end of the drive-thru. Literally massive hole. Why is that guy pulling out of the drive-thru?
Momijavema Milk says, freaky ass 66 god.
So well. Why are these guys so angry? Why would you go into the drive-thru just pull out?
Mikey Angelo says, do you always buy your lunch? Jimmy Oppa
No.
says, freaky ass 66 god let me get some ass to eat. Mikey Angelo says, and is it always fast food?
No, my boss today, we had a barbecue today at work. So we had barbecue type food, burgers and dogs, hot dogs. I have meetings, but most of them are for new business or investment opportunities. Really? That's cool. You always buy, not always.
Jimmy Oppa says, Show us your work shirt.
Oh, thank you. Now I'll get naked for
Mikey
you.
Angelo says, what about the other days? Stream Elements says, we're taking a quick break. See you in 1 minute 30 seconds.
No, I only got Popeyes because I wanted to have the pie. I did not intend to get the sandwich. But since it had a new sandwich...
Mikey Angelo says, in 1 week how many days are you buying lunch?
Probably 2 times right now. Times a week right now. Right now, I didn't get food. I just got this freezer. That's it. Because my brain is burning up. Great. So no stream later, by the way. I have to be a responsible adult. I don't want to be, but I have to be. I have to cut the grass, do more taxes, and go to bed early. I have to go to bed early because I have to be up at 3 a.m. for work. So.
Tyler Dude says, freaky ass 66, God let me get some ass to eat.
What? Ass to eat? No, thank you. So when I get home.
Mikey Angelo says, when is your 90 days at the news job?
I don't know. I don't pay attention. I think it started sometime in March. Like early March, I think. I think it was like after the Canada trip. I don't remember.
Jimmy Opper says, is it payday for you, car? John Briest says, do more taxes?
Yeah, almost done. I just need to finish the meal.
Mikey Angelo says, so early June is when they letting you go.
Probably. I don't know.
Jimmy Opper says, what you eating, Big Daddy?
Nothing right now. I'm just eating, I'm just...
Nightbird says, Andy the entrepreneur.
Hello? What's up, Shadow? Long time no see.
Chiefy J says, Chai. Chato says, welcome. Windsor Kale Quest 661 says, I don't want to see you all thing. Wash those pants, bro.
They're stained forever. We overheated. We might overheat again, unfortunately.
Chato says, yeah, I need Jen to go live so I can watch him.
You need Jen? What do you mean, Jen? I won't be live later, chat. This is all we got for now.
Jimmy Opper says, me too.
What's Jen?
Chato says, Dick Cam. Momijavema Milk says, I need CM to go live. Winter Kale Quest 661 says, how sad. Jimmy Opper says, why? You got a date tonight?
No. I have to be up at 3 a.m. I would still go on a date tonight if I had an actual date, but I'm trying to be responsible adult. I had to clean.
One Cox says, 3 a.m. for what?
I have to work for a news station on weekends.
Mikey Angelo says, his news job.
Yeah, I have to be at the station at 4 a.m.
Winter Kale Quest 661 says, stop getting dressed, I'm gonna be late to work. Jimmy Opper says, no need to say you would go on a date if you had a date.
I mean, I don't mind skipping sleep, honestly, for a date.
One Cox says.
Anyways, I have to cut the grass, which I can't do on stream, and I have to finish my taxes, which all I need to do is just the
Jimmy Opper says,
meals.
That's like saying I would walk my dog if I had a dog.
All I gotta do is the meals, and that's it. And I can just submit it. Should be good to go. I have to apply for the home
So
equity
hurry
loan.
the fuck up. Lady Stiletto says, howdy.
What's up, lady?
Jimmy Opper says, then you can go to the gym.
I won't. No. I have
Or make
to.
up another excuse.
I have to be.
Lady Stiletto says, where are we going? One Cox says, maybe if you go gym enough you'll get a date. Mikey Angelo says, oh shit, that reminds me to walk my dog before heading out for Foodie Land. Thanks, Jimmy. MVCZR says, what is this?
This is Chefy J's legs.
Chato says,
Sexy
congrats
legs.
on news job, it suits
You
you.
like his sexy legs? But anyways, I have to try to go to bed.
John Brisk says,
like 10 o'clock.
PP Cam. Jimmy Opper says, hi Steph.
Yeah. Is Steph live?
So why no gym car?
I mean, when I submit my taxes, so I'll start going back to the gym.
Lady Stiletto says, your pants are dirty.
I know.
MVCZR says, hi Jimmy.
Is Steph live? I can't check. I only have one phone.
Mikey Angelo says, OMG, it's my favorite tripod, Steph.
No problem, one cog.
One Cox says, thank you for the motivation, Andy. Nightbot says, error connecting to remote server.
We might overheat again, chat. It's really hot. I might quit this job, honestly, and still, and I'll hang out all weekend in New York. We'll see. I might quit it. I kind of don't and kind of do want to. I'm not too sure yet. I'm undecided on the job.
Lady Stiletto says, you shouldn't go to work with dirty clothes. Mikey Angelo says, the news job?
Yeah, the news job.
Just finished it. You're almost done with your 90 days.
Yeah. I just don't like stepping on pin needles when I'm working there. That's not a good feeling, especially when you're new, you know? Or on, broken eggshells or whatever, whatever that phrase saying is. Oh, my head, brain freeze. Oh, my head.
Mikey Angelo says, plus you need the money.
money.
Dude, how do I know when you're done with your 90 days but you don't? Walking on eggshells.
Yeah, it's not a good feeling walking on eggshells.
Momage of Emma Milk says, why is this angle so ass?
Because I'm wearing my work shirt. So, I mean, I could get naked if you want. I don't know if how people would like that, though. I could
You're not even in public, why are you pointing at the floor?
Well, I don't want
Mikey
to
Angelo
show
says,
my shirt.
maybe this should tell you that you need to improve your mannerism and behavior around people.
Oh.
Then again, you will take nothing from it.
I work alone at the news station. I mean, I work with an assignment manager or whatever it's called, assignment desk. They give me assignments. Brain freeze. Brain freeze. Brain freeze. Massive brain freeze. What are you guys up to today? You guys gonna have fun this weekend?
Jimmy Opper says, maybe the brain freeze will slow down the shrinkage.
What shrinkage? My brain?
John Brisk says, lol.
Lol. Yeah, so the plan is when I get back
Momage
home.
of Emma Milk says, tiny tool.
When I get back home, I'll cut my grass and finish my taxes. Submit my taxes. Should be
Mikey
done.
Angelo says, if you truly want a high-paying job so you can save money for your businesses, you really need to change your behavior. I'm telling you this now as someone who works in corporate.
I know. I just hate corporate. It's not something I see any pleasure in working with. I think corporate is not about the human in the company. It's the lack thereof of human. You know?
Satam Sam says, hello.
What's up, Sam? Shout out Satam X Sam. I thought you were going live. Were you just live just now? I don't know. Are you live right now? I won't be live later.
Mikey Angelo says, it doesn't matter if you hate it or like it, you need a high-paying job and this is one of obstacle you need to go through. Satam Sam says, I will go live soon.
Oh, okay.
Jimmy Opper says, Sam gonna goon on VRC with Plax again? Mikey Angelo says, fuck, I'm doing it again. Satam Sam says, no I'm not, did you get an ODI?
No, I think I saw you at everyone on your Discord.
Nightbird says, don't give Andy advice, Mikey Angelo, we've been over this 181 times.
I saw you had that at everyone on your Discord. I got the notification for that. Go pay Lotto Co. It's not up to 200 million. It's not worth playing.
Jimmy Opper says, go play the lottery car. Satam Sam says, I will dress up like Helga and act like her.
I don't know how you're gonna act like her. Are you gonna do cartwheels? Cartwheels? Or whatever it's called. Whatever she did on stream last night.
Mikey Angelo says, don't you already do that every day? Jimmy Opper says, you got yoga pants?
He needs yoga pants. He says he's not gonna wear yoga pants though.
Satam Sam says, yes I will try. Mikey Angelo says, he will put on a tracksuit and scream. He already does that.
Yes.
Jimmy Opper says, you're gonna need to cover your gooch, man.
You need like a cup.
Satam Sam says, BRB.
BRB. Are we in BRB? If I F, that means my phone overheated. It's an iPhone right now. We have the AC on right now, max. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Chat. Oh dear. I can show you my face. I know Steph loves my face.
Mikey Angelo says, do you burp at work?
I got a good face, right, Steph? Jimmy loves my face too. That's why he comes here all the time.
Steph is streaming and isn't here. Do you burp at work? Jimmy Oppa says, ugly fat neophile. Fuck. Bogzilla says, I read that the male gooch is shrinking and they don't know why. Jimmy Oppa says, new glasses when?
No, I'm getting contacts. But they had to do like a teach, which is really annoying. I have to wait until like July.
Dentist when?
Dentist is hard to come by these days.
Mikey Angelo says, new everything when? Jimmy Oppa says, new sunglasses when? Bogzilla says, a face only a mother could love.
You're funny.
Mikey Angelo says, Andy needs a complete makeover. Jimmy Oppa says, dentist hard to come today. Okay, excuses, Andy.
I did it for myself, even though a little push came from someone who's like not a good person.
Mikey Angelo says, a complete being the key word. Jimmy Oppa says, did it yourself. My ass.
Yep. Got a little encouragement from someone else. Even though it's fake encouragement.
Momage of Emma Milk says, Virgin Neo.
Yeah.
Mikey Angelo says, you really need to improve your reading comprehension.
Reading comprehension?
Jimmy Oppa says, okay, Victim Andy.
You call me Victim Andy all you want.
So why can't you find a dentist? Do they not exist in your area?
I called one and it said we're not taking any new clients. We're so behind on bookings. We have to book people in September. I have to call other spots. I'm looking for a new dentist. I'm not going to the one I owe money with. So I'm just going to go to a new one.
You called one. Okay, good job, champ. Mikey Angelo says, people don't like repeating the same thing because you can't comprehend it, especially at high-paying jobs. Momage of Emma Milk says, fly down to Mexico and get those teeth fixed. Screw Chicago and TwitchCon. No. Stream Elements says, we're taking a quick break. See you in 1 minute 30 seconds.
If I go to Mexico...
Jimmy Oppa says, yet maybe Bog will babysit you.
No, Bog doesn't want to go back to Mexico at all. But
Mikey Angelo says, if you don't understand instructions or can't follow procedures, they will lay you off. MVCZR says, Nossa Hakam.
Someone said you were live,
says,
by the way. So
most VODs not allowed on Twitch and will
live?
be on my YouTube.
Is she actually live?
YouTube.com GFJ.
I think my girl is showing that she's live. I can't check if she's live, because I only have one phone on me.
Mikey Angelo says, she's live.
She is live. Is she studying? And listening or watching me?
Why don't you think she's live?
I can't check the phone. I would have to
Why would I troll with Tad? MVCZR
say
says, I'm not live.
Oh, you're not live? I can't tell who's trolling. You both are trolls.
Mikey Angelo says, you know people can multitask, right?
No. Seb says she's not live. Who's lying?
She's too busy in Spain without the S. Nightbot says, I have a high tolerance for trolling, but learn my lines and respect them or else jail time out for ya.
Who's actually trolling or lying? It's either Steph that's lying or Michelangelo's lying. One or the other. We don't like liars here. We punish liars.
Mikey Angelo says, does it matter in this case? It doesn't really affect you.
I mean, it shows character. Who's the liar?
Momage of Emma Milk says, I'm a liar.
I don't like liars.
Punish me, Zaddy.
You can't just say you're a liar. You have to like, actually prove you're a liar.
Mikey Angelo says, I'm a liar.
Really?
Sendless Apprentice says, it's weird that your stream doesn't show up on my Twitch following panel, even after I refresh.
I got shadow banned. That's why. Certain people who hate me got connections with the higher ups in the platform. So they shadow ban me.
Mikey Angelo says, for what?
So they shadow ban me. Because they use their connections.
Jimmy Opper says, you dumb car. Momage of Emma Milk says, don't forget to follow Sendless.
Yeah.
Mikey Angelo says, oh consequences of your actions, so that why you stop talking about it.
Huh. It's about whatever I want. What are you talking about?
Sendless Apprentice says, oh fuck I accidentally unfollowed. Sendless Apprentice just followed. Stream Elements says, thank you for following Sendless Apprentice. Sick Reality says, Steph is a tripod.
You didn't accidentally unfollow.
Momage of
You
Emma Milk
unfollowed
says, Steph is a
I
tripod.
think you unfollowed me on the day of the show and you were pissed off and you unfollowed
Mikey
me.
Angelo says, Steph is a tripod.
Steph is a tripod.
MVCZR says, Steph is a tripod.
Yeah.
Jimmy Opper says, yeah he accidentally followed.
Yeah, he accidentally unfollowed.
Sendless Apprentice says, I must have accidentally unfollowed, not kidding.
Right. What's the uptime?
Heartflix says, Steph has a huge throbbing veiny cockatoo.
Really?
Jimmy Opper says,
Can I see?
imagine following. MVCZR says, hi Senti Daddy. Momage of Emma Milk says, Steph has a huge throbbing veiny cockatoo.
Are you gonna go live later, Scentless? I won't be live. I need someone to pick up the slack. You're the only one who could take care of the slack. A lot of slack. I can't be live. I have to cut grass and finish my taxes.
Sendless Apprentice says, hi Steffi baby. Momage of Emma Milk says, he. Mikey Angelo says, that is BS. We all know you will go live and not do your taxes.
No, I have to. I mean, I just need to do one more thing and that's it. I can submit it.
You will tell yourself you have until October.
No. I need it. I mean, I'm getting returned, so like I need the money. So, yeah, I'm gonna submit it quick as possible. I'm just gonna submit.
Sendless Apprentice says, CM will be live and I'll be live around the same time due to a planned meetup at 4:15 p.m. Pacific time. MVCZR says, he still hasn't done his taxes wild.
Yeah. I'm almost finished. I just need to do the meals and that's it. CM be live and I'll be live around the same time. Due to a planned meetup. We meet up at 4:15. Scentless. Who you planning to meet up?
Momage of Emma Milk says, I'm a liar. FWB.
Fuck with benefits.
MVCZR says, FWB.
Friend with
Sick
benefits?
Reality says, why are we so close I'm uncomfortable.
What's up, Sick? It's either this or this.
Mikey Angelo says, FWB.
Which one do you prefer? Who wants to be my FWB? Anyone?
Nightbot says, most VODs not allowed on Twitch and will be on my YouTube. YouTube.com Chief EJ.
Why? Because I'm wearing a shirt I can't show on stream.
Chat has watched Andy's neck but 36 times. Sick Reality says, why did you show me your bulge? MVCZR says, there was a bulge. Jimmy Opper says, worse pod than CM.
Yeah.
Stream Elements says, Nightbot just redeemed merch. Sick Reality says, check the VOD. Mikey Angelo says, put duct tape over it. MVCZR says, no thank you. Mikey Angelo says, bring duct tape in car if you're going to stream at lunch.
Who are you talking to? Me?
Jimmy Opper says, buy some merch car. Sick Reality says, why can you not show your shirt on stream?
Because my work shirt. I'm a little pansy bitch boy. I'm a low-level employee. I'm not an executive.
Mikey Angelo says, yes you. Sick Reality says, you have Popeyes and Gatorade trash on the floor.
I'm not executive.
Mikey Angelo says, who else would I say that to? Sick Reality says, put on a jacket. Jimmy Opper says, at least you admit it.
It was too hot to wear a sweater right now. It's like 70?
Sick too smart. Mikey Angelo says, bring duct tape and use it to cover your logo.
I don't have
Sendless Apprentice says, nobody wants to find you at your workplace. Momage of Emma Milk says, did you know the Steph is a sinner and a tripod?
She's a sinner? She doesn't seem like a sinner to me. She's super wholesome, chat. She's super
Sick Reality
wholesome.
says, take your shirt off.
Are you sure you want me
Actually,
to take my
never
shirt
mind. Don't do that. Sendless Apprentice says, sick please God no.
Yeah.
Mikey Angelo says, Steph is not wholesome. Have you seen her play games? MVCZR says, lol someone in chat here called me a sinner. Sick Reality says, put your shirt on backwards.
Then they put it backwards. I don't feel like doing that. I'll show you the floor.
Steph influenced me to sell drugs.
How many drugs did you sell though? Did you make her happy? Did you sell a lot of good drugs? I wonder which drug Steph would become addicted to.
Mikey Angelo says, I always make Steph happy.
In real life.
Sick Reality says, I'm more uncomfortable knowing my POV is your crouch area. Momage of Emma Milk says, I bet it smells like cheese and ass in your car.
Would it be?
Sick Reality says, I will take the chin over this.
Would it be Adderall she would be addicted to? Or meth? Or cocaine?
Dick cheese.
Crack? Wonder what she would be addicted to. Sick,
Mikey Angelo says, damn, those are fighting words.
Sick is
Let's see how this plays out.
Is Steph alive? You know, MVCZR? Do you know if she's alive? I don't trust Michelangelo and Steph. I trust Sick though. Sick wouldn't lie to me.
Sick Reality says, I don't know how to check.
You go to
Momage of Emma Milk says, yes she's live. Sick Reality says, oh, she isn't live.
Okay,
Mikey
good.
Angelo says, Steph already hates you and you're guessing the types of drugs she will be addicted to.
Yes.
Bold move.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. I think most women on this platform hate me. And most women streamers hate me. That know me. Which is fine. No big deal.
Sick Reality says, please, no bulge.
No bulge?
Please.
I don't have a bulge.
Chin angle please.
Chin angle? Okay.
What have I don't? Jimmy Opper says, you did it yourself. Sick Reality says, done. Mikey Angelo says, you're the common denominator.
No, the thing is that I realize that this platform is that when you're a female streamer, usually, in most cases, that the men that interact with you, you expect them to get on their knees.
Sick Reality says, I regret
The
everything.
thing is that I don't simp. At least not anymore. I don't simp. I'm not no bitch boy. So that offends certain people when you're not a bitch boy. You don't get on your knees and pray for their
One
attention.
Fox says, lol.
You know, pray for their attention. So I don't pray for their attention. I mean, if they don't give me attention, I don't give a shit. You know?
Jimmy Opper says, just go on kick.com non-beach boy.
Beach Boy. Yeah, I realize that it's like it's completely different.
Mikey Angelo says, there he goes making the wrong assumption when we already told you when ladies don't like you. One Cox says, you will get on your knees, you just haven't got the chance. Car.
No,
Stop capping. Jimmy Opper says, okay guy who keeps talking to Steph.
What? What are you talking about? I don't beg for her attention. I don't beg for any woman's attention. I don't do that. Not anymore, at least. I stopped trying.
Put some knee pads on your wish list.
No, thank you.
MVCZR says, what did he say? Lumveo, I wasn't listening. One Cox says, the key word is right.
Right? What do you mean? What do you mean? She has me muted.
Probably WW3 says, wow, is that the real Steph? One Cox says, lol, you banned keyworded. All I said.
What? Oh, you said what? Then Beth. Jesus. Michelangelo trying to get in that instigating.
MVCZR says, WTF lol. Stadler and Waldorf redeemed learn a new word. Probably WW3 says, FWB.
What up, Startle?
Stadler and Waldorf says, hi.
But what do you want me to learn? Can you teach me a word? I'll learn it. Oh, I mean, I can't guarantee I'll memorize it, but I'll learn it right now. How you doing? How you be? I have this ankle just for Steph, by the way, because she loves it. Nostril cam.
Mikey Angelo says, Andy will never better himself because he refused to listen to constructive feedback. We already told you why women hate you on Twitch and you completely ignored that and you somehow thinks it's because you under shrimp.
Yeah, I'm not
One
shrimp.
Cox says, everything is keyworded. WTF. Stadler and Waldorf says, new word is Mirenuka.
Is that English? It has to be an English word.
Mikey Angelo says, I wasn't trying to start drama. I literally repeated what you just said without any exaggeration. Jimmy Opper says, learn the word soy boy. Stadler and Waldorf says, Mirenuka.
Is that English?
Heartflix says, Andy frequents 4chan.
The thing is that this platform is
Stadler and Waldorf says, okay, I'll translate it, and fucker. One Cox says, a man who creates drama is seen as weak and impulsive. Mikey Angelo says, wow, even after I wrote that the only thing you heard was shrimp. JFC Andy.
This platform is a well-oiled machine and designed for shrimping, or else they will go out of business. So yeah, 100%. They're gonna enable that behavior, even though I don't think it's good behavior. I mean, it's a business model, and it is a model that works. You know, taking advantage of shrimps, which is weak-minded men usually. You know, I mean, my e-girl 101 and 201 classes are gonna talk about that, especially how to manipulate men into giving you money. It's not hard to do if you have the right tools. You know.
One Cox says, if you went around with the intention of making friends like Mads and others, you would find a lady friend, but you find the first woman who shows you an ounce of attention and put her on a pedestal.
Not anymore. I learned my lesson, One Cog.
Momage of Emma Milk says, you have a tiny tool.
I learned my lesson, One Cog.
Mikey Angelo says, damn, it's pretty impressive you can ignore the main point of conversations and steer the topic into something else.
Yes. Because it's the root cause.
One Cox says, I do hope you have bro truly.
Yeah,
MVCZR says, it's pretty rude to try to say someone would be addicted to a substance if they had an addiction. That's crazy. One Cox says, I've slipped but the truth is holding frame is OP.
I was wondering, I assume, I was wondering which one.
Mikey Angelo says, like I try to tell you why women don't like you and you completely think it's something else.
No, 100%. I mean, I don't shrimp anymore.
One Cox says, If you are sure of yourself and comfortable within yourself, people will flock to you like moths to a light.
I know.
MVCZR says, why would you wonder that?
Why? Because you were talking about the game, or you guys were talking about the drug game, or whatever it's called. And you brought it up. You or someone else brought it up with the drug game. This drug game you play. I want to play that drug game too. I wonder if it could outsell everyone here.
Mikey Angelo says, I keep forgetting how one dimensions you are and you can't really think of any other possibilities. MVCZR says, why aren't you wondering what sick would be addicted to then? Probably WW3 says, Schedule 1? MVCZR says, or literally anyone else here. One Cox says, it's disrespectful. Mikey Angelo says, sick would be addicted to plum wine.
Plum wine? What's plum wine? We're sick. Sick, where are you?
Stream Elements says, we're taking a quick break. See you in 1 minute 30 seconds.
We might overheat pretty soon. But yeah.
Hotflix says, you didn't drink Umashu in Japan?
What's that? No. I went alone. I was mostly alone. I didn't have any locals. I barely talked to any local streamers there. I was mostly alone most of the time. Like 98% of the time I was alone. Which is a little sad, but I was also streaming it too. So like it wasn't like completely alone. I was physically alone in Japan.
Mikey Angelo says, he doesn't know that Umashu is plum wine.
I had neither. Neither. But yeah. I learned that I was shrimping, and I learned never to shrimp again. I didn't realize I was shrimping.
God, I wish I could have seen Andy in Japan. I can only imagine the interactions he had with people.
I didn't interact with many people. They interacted with me, then I interact back. But not that many interacted with me. It's mostly the young Japanese.
MVCZR says, did he answer why he only speculated about me?
No, I could speculate about Sick. Sick would be addicted to weed. I don't know if weed is actually could be addictable. It's not like a substance.
Mikey Angelo says, we already know why.
Why what? Because I'm shy?
One Cox says, it's psychologically addictive, not physically.
Really? I guess, that's true.
Although hypermesis can be brutal going through it now. Downward Doggo says, you want to be a pot mogul now?
What's a pot mogul?
MVCZR says, what other unhinged thing can he say about me today? Things.
What? We're talking about everyone. You can talk about me anytime you want. I don't care.
Lol, you weren't. Momage of Emma Milk says, why won't Chiefy speculate things about me? Downward Doggo says, a marijuana aficionado.
I think Milk could be addicted to marijuana. Marijuana.
MVCZR says, why would I want to waste my time thinking about you?
No, waste. What are you talking about?
Mikey Angelo says, Andy doesn't like to think about us.
I'm a great person.
Probably WW3 says, does Chiefy hate Mexican shrimp?
No.
Momage of Emma Milk says, I've never smoked in my life.
I'm a great person. Just because I don't bow down to women anymore doesn't mean I'm a bad person. No. But yeah, I don't
Mikey Angelo says, we don't have the right equipment. He only thinks of Asian women.
I don't bow down anymore, so I'm a bad guy now because I don't bow down. No shrimp boy. No bitch boy. Makes me a bad person now.
One Fox says. Windsor Quest 661 says, who think of Asian women? Downward Doggo says, make Drumpf vegetarian tacos, Drumpf always chickens out. MVCZR says, a good person doesn't need to say they are a good person. One Cox says, probably WW3 says,
when people say
you're
I'm a bad
confusing
person,
bowing down with respect.
When people say I'm a bad person, I would speculate their reasoning, which is usually right now, it's because I'm not a bitch boy, I'm not a simp boy. That's a massive change in the last 2 months. I'm not simping for anyone.
Calm down, Andy Tate. Mikey Angelo says, it's crazy you're so closed-minded you can't really think of any other possibilities why women hate you. I can't tell if this is mental disorder or if you're just too stubborn. MVCZR says, you don't give basic respect to anyone lol. Downward Doggo says, you are still a simp inside, trust us. One Cogs says, a good person makes their intentions and character known through the acts they perform, constantly reaffirming the type of person they are. Mikey Angelo says, like I can think of several reasons why women don't like you. Probably WW3 says, it's both. Mikey Angelo says, being closed-minded is a sign of low intelligence. Coco Creamer says, WTF is this? Mikey Angelo says, and immaturity. One Cogs says, although morality is debatable, we are both good and evil all at once.
I think simping is very bad. It's very unhealthy for everyone.
MVCZR says, but sure, bitch boy.
Bitch boy.
Probably WW3 says, bottom boy. Mikey Angelo says, Andy, let's do an exercise. Can you come up with 2 other reasons why women don't like you? Like really try to think about it.
What do you mean? Shrimping is the number one because this platform is well designed for shrimping. It's very well designed. Weld all the machine for shrimping. That's the main component. So if I don't shrimp, it means I'm not oiling the machine.
Stop going back to shrimping. One Cox says, Andy, let's play a game. What kind of emotional safety could you offer a woman? Mikey Angelo says, I ask you to think of other reasons. Probably WW3 says, why don't women in the real world like you? It's not just about Twitch.
Much, honestly.
Well, women in general find you disrespectful.
Well, why? Is it because I don't get on my knees?
Momage of Emma Milk says,
treat them like a queen or a princess? I mean, to me, that's treating them like a queen or as a princess. That's disrespectful in my eyes. To both the man and the woman.
Mikey Angelo says, can you really not think of other reasons and stop saying shrimping for now? MVCZR says, it's because you objectify us.
I objectify
Probably WW3 says, treat them with respect regardless of gender.
I objectify everyone equally. Equal opportunist.
MVCZR says, he really doesn't understand basic respect? That's crazy. Momage of Emma Milk says, why won't Chiefy respect WW3?
Everyone objectifies everyone. Just more people are a little bit bitch boy and keep it inside.
One Cox says, I think it's your brash nature
and
at times.
I
only say this because I've been going through this in my early 20s. Not every causation deserves a reaction sometimes.
I'm more outspoken about it. So it makes it more disrespectful because you're supposed to keep your inner thoughts. You're not allowed to speak out because it's just disrespectful. Being outspoken is not good. It's a bad trait, right? Is that one of the reasons? So to keep your inner thoughts. Don't speak out. Don't have opinions. Be a robot for society to accept you. Is that the reason why? I mean, that's not a reason that I subscribe to. I think people who subscribe that mentality are subscribing themselves to a little box and being controlled little bitches. That's what I think. I'm now a little bitch boy who are being controlled by society. I just have to do this, dumb corporate jobs here and there until I, get entrepreneurship off the ground.
Mikey Angelo says, Andy really thinks he is hard.
I think you're supposed to be the main character of your own world, yeah. And you can be fake all you like to get where you need to go. I just don't like being fake. And I don't know how to be fake. Basically, I was subscribing myself to society's box.
Momage of Emma Milk says, I'm a sinner angry face with horns.
Be empathetic. I am empathetic.
One Cox says, just because you've had a few experiences with a few eggs that crack doesn't mean that every egg is the same. If you continue to treat every egg the same, they will crack all the same. This is not about eggs. MVCZR says, it's crazy that he's trying to justify being an asshole lol.
The thing is that
Lady
being
Stiletto
an asshole is
says,
subjective.
howdy.
Up,
Probably WW3
So,
says,
the thing
you
is that-
still think like a
The thing
child.
is that being an asshole is subjective. Like, what's an asshole? Like, me sharing my opinion could make me look like an asshole. Yeah, I agree with you. Then I'm an asshole. But I think when society says, no, get on your knees, keep your ideas and your opinions to yourself, that's the respect that we demand from you. Because you're a little bitch boy, you make no money, you don't deserve an opinion, you don't deserve to speak out. That's the right way of going up the ladder. When you make money, then you can speak. That's the right way. Right? So because I have no money, I can't
One
talk.
Cox says, partially.
Yeah. No, you know I'm right, one cog. You know I'm right.
Mikey Angelo says, you can speak out. I tease how you speak though.
I just speak. I'm in New York, dude. I just speak bluntly and straightforward. Which people who
MVCZR says, IDK why you keep talking about bowing down, that's not what being respectful means.
It is. I mean, if you look at society and look at the rich, you bow down to the rich. You work for the rich. You don't work for poor
One
people.
Cox says, Steve Irwin's wife is a prime example of why you're not all that right. That woman is still single.
Like, I'm pretty sure most people in the chat work for someone who's rich. Even if it's a company.
Lana Del Rey married an alligator tour guide. I'm sure it was for his money. Mikey Angelo says, he thinks with his emotions and refused to listen to logic and facts.
No,
MVCZR says, IDK why I keep trying to talk to him.
I think logically, it's just you have to subscribe to a box society puts out there. The thing is that
He's now, I'm only here for chat.
The thing is that
Mikey Angelo says, you can't argue with an idiot. You become the idiot.
That box. That's what I'm trying to do. I don't like that box. I think that box should be destroyed and rebuilt and more flexible. You know what I mean? But it's not how society works. Society is that you have to keep your mouth shut, or you talk in a specific way that everyone understands and agrees with. That's the right way of doing it, right? And if you don't make enough money, you don't have that right to speak.
Mikey Angelo says, he will keep bringing back the conversation to this one topic, when we are trying to say something else. He isn't competent enough to understand we switched topic. Probably WW3 says, Andy is angry that he is poor and lonely, but he's focusing his anger at the wrong people. Clearly it's women that are keeping him down. MVCZR says, don't forget he accuses us of the most unhinged things after taking our words and skewing it to fifth victim mentality. Probably WW3 says, that damn matriarchy.
Hierarchy? Victim mentality. The thing is that I've been through a very traumatic situation.
Mikey Angelo says, even though Andy is 40-year-old, his mental capability isn't. He still thinks like a toddler.
Well, the thing is that you guys get manipulated all the time.
Probably so WW3 says, Andy 100% has...
The thing is that you guys get manipulated all the time, so you could deal with manipulation. I've been manipulated like to the hardcore level twice in my life. I don't know how many times you guys got manipulated for like either personal gain, business or business related, or just manipulation for entertainment purposes. I don't have that much experience in that, getting manipulated. So yeah, I went through a very traumatic situation that fucked up with my head. So yeah, I'm not playing victim. I feel like I am a victim because I'm not like regularly like manipulated on a regular basis, No, but other people do. But the thing is that you think everyone has been manipulated like 1,000 times. I got manipulated twice in my life, I guess as an adult, in 20 years. I guess you get manipulated in your teen years too, but I just say in 40 years I got manipulated 2 times in my life. You think it feels good being manipulated? Yeah, the thing is that coping mechanism is, for me, is talking about it. That's my coping. Like me keeping it bottled in, you think it's a healthy way of like coping? I don't think it's healthy. For me, if I keep it inside, it's gonna eat me alive. Like literally eat me alive. I'm not invalidating, just like everyone's like dismissing my trauma. Like there is no such thing that I went through as trauma. Like granted, no one in here knows the full story what went down, and obviously the other person like literally is downplaying it, and you guys believe her as nothing happened, and she did nothing wrong. She's a good person, and everyone believes her because she's a woman. So it's more believable because she's a woman. And she's innocent, completely innocent. So, that's just crazy to me. But I expected that because this is a platform that puts, I'm just going to be honest, they put women on a pedestal on this platform. And just how it is. So it's automatically assumed that she's correct and she's right. And that's it. It just feels like you guys are dismissing it. Like when you guys say I'm playing victim, it means like whatever I went through was nothing. It was completely just a joke, basically. It was just 6-month joke. That's it. It was nothing dramatic. It just feels like being dismissive. And the way I cope is I talk about it. That's the way I cope. Now, granted, right now I do have scheduled like a therapist for like next week or so to like go through like some trauma therapy because of the situation. So finally go, talk to someone professionally, then yeah, I'll just won't be talking about it on, with anyone else. I'll be talking about it with a professional. You know what I mean? And I have to pay out of pocket. Granted, it's only $25 for each time, so I would imagine it's going to cost me like 20 sessions. I thought you would be happy about that, Michelangelo. I'm gonna see a trauma therapist. Specializes in trauma. She's at work. She's in and out. Sorry. Ugh.